But the deeper they went, the more the force closed in around them. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction. And moss-covered rocks seemed to determine to twist his ankle. More than once he'd be forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree. His hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Weiss was proving to be a spectacular poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Nick to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Weiss muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Nick snapped. Okay, Weiss. Cram it for a second, would ya? You don't have to walk. Nick leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so big? He muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life, okay? Every imaginable form of buzz, click and hiss roared out of a volume that rattled his teeth. Nick slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard. Weiss, what's going on? Nick could see Weiss' mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. Insects screamed, the forest howled, and then just Nick's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover. He sound diminished. Hastily, he removed a hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Whatever that says. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, Nick began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. Not just white noise, it's something else. The insects were just calling out, they were asking a question. One with it is lacking, two with it is ideal, three with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, this is a riddle. I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. And I leave it to you to answer. One with it is lacking, two with it is ideal, three with it is dangerous. What is it? Either a secret or a seesaw. Give me a quick second. Okay, let's go. We're good. Okay. One with it is lacking. Two with it is ideal. Three with it is dangerous. What is it? It's a secret. In worldly furious that Weiss left the task to him, Nick decided and gave the only words that made sense. It's a secret. Right? The sound of the insect stopped as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before Nick like a ripple wave opening a path. The forest arthropods are making a road for us, said Weiss with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Nick moved on with new intensity. The path before his body path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Nick after a bit. Weiss spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. You have no idea where this path leads. As Weiss finished speaking, Pear turned a corner and found himself facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Nick picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Weiss. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally started moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window, but break no glass. The night falls I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, Bugwise. Now answer it. He grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's tried after all. This one is pretty easy. I enter through a window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Sunlight. Of course, it's super easy. Sunlight. A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Roy softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey look, cried Nick, awaking Dice from his daze. Where's a house? There's something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Dice saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. It's weird, isn't it, Wise? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Nick walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, but his face was obscured by mist. Began Nick. But before he could get any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I? Nick tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. If you wish to engage with this man in conversation, said Wise, it seems you must answer his riddle. Yeah, I suppose, said Nick. Well, at least it's an easy one. I have 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I? A man. Or a human, more likely. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. You're the mayor, cried Nick. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor, you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago, I saw a version of you that was not yourself. Sorry? What's that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the Death Dream. Now you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Nick watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Nick and Wise returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he cried. You made it! You actually made it back. His left hand grasps Nick's pumped. What? Let's do this again. His left hand grasped it, nicked, and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to be dislodged from the socket. But his right seized by the cover and swung him through the air. Gah, by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool. We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Nick withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the Death Dreamer's seal, he said. At least, I think we did. The mayor's face beamed at Nick's, filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the three of them laid down on the first ground and fell asleep. Nick cocked his head. Okay, hang on a second. It's crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? Ease your endless paddle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futile. Futility itself. Of this place is futility itself? Okay. Nick and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten? Continued Wise. It is words that control the Death Dream. Words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Absolute? Yeah. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, sleep we shall. And once we do...